Good afternoon, everyone. It is time for a Facebook Live. I apologize. I keep having to change the time. I may look at moving the day. It seems like Wednesdays are busy with me. I either have an appointment at 4. Today I had an event that I went to for cross-stitching from 11 to 3. So I had to push Facebook Live back to 4. So we may move this to Thursday just because I may be able to miss all of this and be more consistent because I know it's hard to keep up with when I'm going to be live. I'm going to give you a minute to get on. I'll share this link over to my page in case somebody is looking for it there. And then we will get started. If you are new to my Facebook Live, I come to you once a week. Hopefully we'll get a set day and time ironed out. I am really enjoying doing it during the day instead of in the evening. It leaves the evening open for spending time with my husband. So since I'm retired now, I am really enjoying that. So, okay, let me go find my page. Welcome, ladies. I see several of you have joined. All right. Just copying this link over to my page in case somebody is looking for it there. And then we will be ready to start. So I make a card every week. And then the next week I give it away. So last week we made this card. This was with the Sale-a-bration set. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. It's the one with the tree that has the different options for it. This one, pick a season. So this is, I had copied, Khaki and made this card for our swap. And so then I copied it and just changed the colors on it. So that was what we made last week. And so I'll tell you at the end who won that card. One other thing I want to tell you, well, a couple of things. After the video is over, you can go to my blog, creatingwithcindy.com, and find the dimensions for the card there. So that way, if you want to recreate this or one similar to it, you have all the dimensions you need. And then at the end, I'm going to show you the swaps that I got from the spring mini catalog. These were, we call them catalog case swaps, and all that means is that somebody copied exactly one of the cards in the catalog and then we swapped them. So we have, it gives us an opportunity to have cards made with stamp sets that we might not own. So it's always nice. And then the one other thing I want to tell you is I have a class coming up Monday. I did order one extra kit. So this class is the Ocean Friends class using this stamp set and the dies, and there's a embossing folder that kind of goes with it. This one called Soft Waves. This is one of the cards we're going to make. So I have one extra kit, and what the kit includes is the designer series paper, the dots that go with it, and then I picked this white frayed ribbon to go with it. So the cost of the class is $40, and you get all of this. I cut all of the cardstock, and if you attend class, I also cut your 12 by 12 paper. So if that is something you are interested in, let me know. Like I said, I have one extra kit that I would love for somebody to have. Okay, I think that's it. Let's get started. So I'm still playing with some Sale-a-bration items, and I had made, this was for one of the cards in my class last week, and I had used this fruit salad. This is one of our Sale-a-bration items. Lots of fun, bright papers here. This is something you can get free with a $60 order. And so I had used this paper. There's this and then one that had a white background. And I had used it for a card class, and I had ended up cutting out 2 circles. And so I had just like a strip, you know, just kind of a strip and some odd shapes. And I thought, well, how can I use that? And so I just cut off of that end where there was a strip, just some strips, and then cut them down to be 4 inches so they would fit on this. This is another Sale-a-bration item. It's the Starstruck. I think that's what it's called. Starstruck embossing folder. Again, something you can get free with a $60 purchase. And then the stamp set I'm using, because the paper is so fun, I didn't want to use a stamp set that was too busy or anything. So I'm just using the happy birthday from this With You in Mind. And this is in the spring mini catalog. So this is what we're going to make today. All right, I have all my pieces cut. Let's do our stamping first. I am going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. Just because this is what we call photopolymer, so it's clear, and that means it doesn't have any cushion. So sometimes it's nice to use Stampin' Pierce mat just to give it a good surface to stamp on. I'm using Real Red. So we will stamp this happy birthday, and I'm stamping it first just to give it a couple minutes to dry while we do some of the other stuff. Reds are notoriously, they can smear a little bit. Now, not long. They dry pretty quickly still, but they will smear more easily than some of the other colors. So we're just going to set that aside for a minute and bring in our other pieces. So this is Granny Apple Green, and I did this card base this way just for fun. Now I forgot to cut some white to put on the inside, but I will do that before I give this away. You can write on this. I mean, it's not that dark, but it would be nice to have a piece of white on the inside. All right, let's take this. So you'll notice mine had 2 with the white background and 1 with the blue. So this one has 2 with the blue and 1 with the white. So I just kind of laid them out about where I thought I wanted them. And they may not be all exactly the same width. And the reason I'm doing this first before I attach this to my card base is if they're a little bit too long, then I can trim them before I attach them to the card base. Now with anything that's embossed, I like to use my liquid adhesive. So let's just put some of that. This is a new one, so I have to remember to be careful and not squeeze it too hard. So we'll put that on there. The other nice thing about this liquid glue is that you can adjust it for just a little bit after you start putting it down. So if you get it crooked, you can straighten it up. Put this one in the middle. I'm just lining it up on one edge. That one looks good. Getting glue on my fingers. All right, let's do this last one. You can tell I still have a little bit of cold left. I'm feeling so much better. I'm not coughing like I was. There's still a little bit of a cough, but hopefully I can get through this whole video without any coughing. All right, let's turn this over because that one looks like it might be just a little bit, yeah, just a wee bit long. So let's you just turn it over to the back and just trim right against that cardstock. So it wasn't much, but just a tiny bit. All right, now we can put this on our card base. Again, I'm using my liquid glue. I just love this designer series paper. It's just so bright and cheery. It's been raining here. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it's been raining here, kind of cloudy and rainy all week, so it's fun to have something bright and cheery. All right, picked up that with my sweater. We're going to need that. I like to just fussy cut this out. You could leave it in a, just in a rectangle, but I like fussy cutting it like that. So what I'm going to do is just cut off this extra. It'll just make it easier. And then you just kind of go around. Now I have seen some people, if you're not comfortable with this, you can take a pencil and lightly draw around it first, so you kind of know where you're going. I usually just cut. And it doesn't have to be perfect. People aren't really going to pay any attention to the cut itself. They're going to see the sentiment. Cut off extra whenever I can. All right, I'll come clean that point up when I'm done, because I got a little bit of a sharp point there that I don't like. See, this is really, I mean, this is a nice big sentiment, so you don't need a lot, you know, just some designer series paper and the sentiment. And all right, come on. Oops, sorry. Need to be sure I stay. All right, where was that? This little guy. He got a little pointed and straight there, so let's just round that a little bit. All right, there we go. And then I decided it needed a little bit of sparkle. So I have this, I don't have it over here. I put it away, but it's this gold open weave ribbon. And so I'm going to grab my tear and tape. So this is really great if you're putting together boxes. It's a very strong adhesive, but it's also a great way to just attach some ribbon. So I'm just going to kind of lay that down, take a piece of tear and tape, and I want to make sure it's not going to go past my sentiment, because I don't want it showing, you know, on the other side of my sentiment. But because this is open weave, even if it doesn't go all the way across, it will still hold it. All right, and then we're going to use dimensionals. And I'm at the end of my dimensional sheet, so if you get to where you use all the ones in the middle, don't throw away the edge. They work just as well. And I'm going to just put them on the ends so that it will span that ribbon. Now this one's thin enough, I could probably put one at the top and it would be fine. But sometimes if you have thicker ribbon, you don't want to try and put the dimensional right on top of the ribbon. All right, and then we're just going to put that so that it covers up our tear and tape. And that's it. And then, like I said, I'll cut a piece of white and put it in there, so you've got a nice piece of white to write on. Isn't that fun? Super simple. All right, let's do our little swap parade. So like I said, these were ones that were copied from the catalog, and then we all swapped. So we made, I think it was 12 people that participated in this. So we made 12 of our card, and then we ended up with our card plus 11 others. So this one is by Carol, and it's the Bright Border set, which is what is used here. And probably these flowers too. And then of course, Stampin' Up! Added a embossing folder, some dies. Isn't that nice? This one is from Khaki, and it is using the shadowed shapes. Isn't that sweet? So the stamping is the shadowed shapes is this big piece. I don't know if that is, I'm not as familiar with this set, so I'm not sure if the sentiment was from that. Isn't that nice? This one is from Patience, and it used the With You in Mind. So that's the stamp set we just used. So this is with the thank you instead. And then the way she created this was just stamping a bunch of these flowers. Isn't that cute? So quick and easy one. All right, I have two using this stamp, so let me find them both. This is the Delightful Details. I think that's what it's called. That's just Floral Delight, but I think it's, yeah, Delightful Wishes. Sorry, Delightful Wishes. This is from Sherry. So again, just stamping a bunch in the background. These were stamped and die cut. This was die cut. And then a little, one of the little gold bees. And then this is the other one from that stamp set. This is from Judy. And this is some of the ribbon that goes with that whole suite. And the designer series paper. This one is mine. This is Beautiful Butterflies. Now, they we have access as demonstrators to what they used on each card, and they did this butterfly with ink and Wink of Stella. I could not get mine to turn out anything like what it looked like in the catalog. So I ended up using just one of the designer series papers that looked more like what was in the catalog. But I did include, well, you can kind of see, I did include the butterfly I made. It's just loose. So they have a butterfly with Wink of Stella and ink that they can use on something else. But it just, I could not get it to turn out like it did in the catalog. So this one is the Linked Together, and Kay made this one. And it may be hard to tell, but these white dots are the embossing paste, the shimmer white embossing paste. So you probably can't really tell, but it's got some texture to it. So that one was a lot of work. So there's a mask that she used for both of the shapes, the inked shapes in the background and that embossing paste. So that was a lot of work. This is the, I think it's the storybook. This is from Beverly. That was a lot of die cutting, especially for 12 of those. This is the Terrific Toadstools from Paula. And then the Ocean Friends. This is the one we're going to use in my class. And let's see who this is. This is from Karen. Isn't that cute crab? And it's a two-step stamp. I don't know if you noticed, but it has an outline and a solid. So you can either stamp it with two different colors or stamp full strength on one and then stamp off on the other. Oh, here's another one with the storybook. This is from Rebecca. So that was a lot of stamping and coloring. So she colored all that with blends or markers. That was a lot of coloring. And then the last one is from Janice, and I forgot what the name. This is the one with the dog. Let me get my catalog real quick and find it so I can tell you what it is. Sometimes it's written on the back and sometimes it's not. And I just, here it is. It's this one. One More Year. So that's the card she copied. So that was a lot of coloring too. So those are all the swaps. That's really fun to get all those different cards. And like I said, several of those I don't own the stamp set. So it's nice to have examples that I can show people of them. All right, last thing is we need to find out who won this card from last week. And it is Nancy. So I will give that to Nancy. And then the way you get entered to win it is comment here on Facebook. So I load these videos over to YouTube, but I don't check any of the comments there. So you have to comment on Facebook to be in the drawing for this card. All right. Thank you so much. And like I said, I think I'm going to try moving this to Thursday to see if that becomes a less busy day. And then maybe we can stay consistent. So check out my blog later to get, it won't be too long, to get the measurements for this. And I will see you next week. Bye.